Hey everybody, AstroNerdBoy here. It's time for episode 57 of my roster review series. And as you look, total collection power is at 7.8 million. So that's pretty wild. And how that's been growing. And as you see, we have a different team in our arena. We'll talk about that in just a minute. But if we look at last week's video, and thank you so much for the subscription, Chris. But if we look at last week's video, we were at 7.6 million power, so we've gone up about 200,000 TCP, and therefore so we've actually done pretty good over the last week, and a lot of that has to do with pushing to get I can't think, Doc Ock, there we go. Plus, pushing up some other characters to get like Mary Sue here to up more. We're working on Nebula now because of the Infinity Watch. And then I popped all my symbiotes. May have been a waste, but all of them except for Venom are up at tier 5 ISO, so I'm sure that helps with the power growth as well. So that's where we're at there. So basically, we're all these characters up here are for Dark Dimension 4, which we're still paused on. Actually, let's not start with him. Let's start with Black Bolt. So Black Bolt needs Gear 15 pieces, so he needs just a few more of these to get at least one more, times 2 then, because he's got enough of these pieces, these spectral analysis things. So it's basically these rather wrong looking, I'm sorry, that artwork just reminds me of something like bad. But to get 2 bottles of Drano, we need 2 of these things here. So it's like 18 minus 13 plus 18 is what we need. So I'm too tired to do the math. I work too many days. So yeah, probably about 2-3 weeks. I figure maybe a month tops. For Silver Surfer, I think he needs like, what is it, like 16 more, and we'll have him at Gear 15. So maybe 2-3 weeks, I don't know. It depends on the luck factor. Now Mary Sue, unfortunately, hers is the Gear 13 unique, and my goodness, that's gonna take forever and a day. That's gonna be so ugly, it's not even funny. But I refuse to wallet farm these, so so it's gonna take months. I figure if I can get this in 6 months, I'll be doing good. So at least for the first pass of Dark Dimension 4, I'm probably not going to get to use her, but I'm keeping her up here because even at 4 yellow stars, 4 red stars, Mary Sue just, she's pretty devastating. So she's definitely the real deal. Now Venom, the only reason Venom is up here is because I have 2 more pieces up here in the ISO to get him to tier 5. It may be a waste, but I decided I don't care. I'm just gonna do it anyway. Night Nurse also suffers from needing Gear 13 piece, but she's not in as bad a situation as Mary Sue. So, but that's mainly because I think I had an orb that had like 6 vials drop. Dark Phoenix, I think I'm only one gear 15 piece away. Yeah, so I can get one more of these, which is not out there right now, but I can get one more of those, and I'll have my at least another character up for Dark Dimension 4's legendaries. Now Nebula, it's so funny working on Nebula because she's been a scrub ever since the game came out. And now then, you know, when you pair her up with Gamora, and you'll see this in a bit when I go through my save squads, but you know, even when I didn't have her at this level, it was pretty amazing what she could do. So with Gamora, so and now that I've got her up to 66664 in gear 12, I mean, you know, it's pretty much a sure win team. And that's just with 2 of the Infinity Watch. I can't imagine what will be. I've heard predictions that Infinity Watch will be Black Order 2.0 in terms of just being, you know, dominant in the arena. But, you know, I doubt I'll be able to unlock Adam Warlock anytime soon. And and then the other characters I have will be at schlub levels. But, you know, rumor has it that even at schlub levels, they're all really good too. So who knows? We still got the painful, slow farming of Yellow Jacket to 6 stars for Jubilee, and Okoye for the Wakanda event. And of course, now that I've got Doc Ock unlocked, I'm starting to work on him a bit. So that's kind of cool. So let's look real quick at, you know, where we're at on the gear 15. Gear 15 really hasn't changed much. So, you know, these are the gear 15s that I have. Yeah, I don't have Hela at gear 15 yet. I don't think. No, yeah, she's at 14. Yeah, she has 3 pieces, and it was just going to take longer. I will work on her though. She will get a promotion once I get some of the other characters, one of the other cosmic kind of mystic whatever done. So, but yeah, so no real change there. But you know, Doc Ock will be another legendary that will go up to 15. And it'll just be, I do have the nice thing is I do have his gear 13 uniques. I do have the gear 13 uniques for him to take him all the way to 15. So that's a definite, yeah, absolutely. It's just going to be the gear 15 stuff, you know, getting at bits and pieces as it comes along. So, well, we'll work on that. So, let's go to save squads real quick. So for right now, I've got Doc Ock in this schlub team just because he's at 45. I will continue to tick him up, and then once he gets to a higher level, I'll actually shift him off of this and onto the Sinister Six, and then I'll put Shocker down here probably. But for right now, just because he's at a low level, I'm just leaving him here until we get the higher levels. So, and I think he replaced one of the Ravagers. I think Boomer. So, you know, fine. You know, Boomer is not that much, and he was pretty low anyway. So, so it's not like it was a loss. And if anything, it probably bumped things up a bit. But all right, so there's the schlub teams down here. No changes at all. I think. Oh, I did pop down because of Nebula. I rotated Nebula. I think Nebula may have been on this squad, or she may have been on the earlier. She may have been on this one. Because I put another hand down here. I rotated a hand from, I think, this team, and then I put in what's his face over here. And then I had him sitting around, and I put him on there. So basically it was like, you know, just make this kind of whack villain team for early blitzing. And then make it, it'll be one of those sacrifice teams for blitzing purposes. So, and then there's X-Force. You know, we've stopped working on X-Force for now until we get, you know, another star level for these two characters, and I will work on that eventually. But for U7.5, I want to get Astonishing X-Men going. We're doing U7.4 for the first time, and even though I've got symbiotes at you know, well over 500k, it's still you can definitely feel the power increase in U7.4 versus what it was when it was 7.1. It was just auto, and occasionally I get pissed off because, you know, somehow or another one of the nodes would suddenly overpower me. It's like, how'd that happen? But in 7.4, the power creep is so bad that you know, I'm getting through, but I'm having to take more manual control, which also means sometimes doing a timeout, which, because I'm just not used to playing manually. So but I'm also trying to save my cooldown. So in Stark Tech, we're working on skill still. So skill and armor is what we're working on, and then once that gets maxed out, then I'll go through all of them and do resistance, and then we'll be done. I'm kind of looking forward to that. So any changes down here are strictly due to Stark Tech. So whatever character has skill, that will be that will account for the change in power. Now this is the new. It's so funny because when I had what's his face, the Kree guy from earlier with the big hammer, whose name eludes me because my brain is just not working. When I had him on here, and I don't remember who the fifth one I had on here, but you know, the team was like, you know, it might win 50% of the time. But now that you know, then I put Mary Sue on there, and it's like, oh, okay, that makes the team pretty much win all the time because Mary Sue. Gamora was always here, but then when I took Wonder Boy off with his big hammer and brought in Nebula, now that Gamora and Nebula have their reworks, this team does not lose. It's pretty hilarious. I mean, you got super OP, and then you got these two working in conjunction, doing some amazing things. And you know, if I had another Red Star or so, the Captain Marvel would be a better character. But definitely it doesn't hurt now to have these other three powerhouse characters. And of course, you know, we've got Minerva here popping out heals all over the place. So yeah, so this has become oh, in fact, it popped up one just because yeah, that's right, I just before I started recording this video, I actually put some levels into Gamora there, so they actually passed up the Asgardians. Oh, and they actually passed up these guys too, Inhumans. Yeah, I mean, ideally, I'd love to get these guys above 65, but and I don't like being a slave to the game, but at the same time, I can't deny reality in the fact that, you know, well, there's definitely a much bigger benefit in putting her up to at least 71, maybe even 75, probably, and ditto Gamora, than it is to put, you know, more stuff into these guys. Even though I do want them all at least 71, that would help them out a lot. But as it is, you know, you've got this, you know, Mary Sue's team, as I'm going to call it. But it really works really well. And in War, I have not tried this team in War yet, but I'm looking forward to trying it because I think it will seriously kick bottom. All right, so then we've got this. By the way, hello Extreme, recording a video here for YouTube. By the way, for you on YouTube, I try to stream mobile games on Monday night, and then, you know, after mobile games I do, you know, whatever I feel like. So that's where we're streaming this. So symbiotes went up a bit, thanks to me putting in the extra ISO levels. So it feels like these guys popped up just a little bit, but I don't know why that would be the case, other than skill. It may be skill. I don't know if she's skill or not, but it could be her. But, you know, in terms of arena, you know, they're kind of rubbish. So, and speaking of arena, let's go and look real quick. So, I still have on defense, I don't have these guys. I still have the normal team, my normal Blackwater, because I think Blackwater as a defense still is a bit tougher to deal with than these guys. If I had more gold stars and red stars on these two, I'd probably do it. But as it is, you know, if we look and see what kind of opponents we fight, you know, there's still a lot of Black Orders in here, but at the same time, there's a lot of, you know, we're starting to see a lot more, you know, the teams like what I've got. So, and yeah, it's very hard for Black Order to beat them if you don't play it just right, and but at the same time, it can be a little bit tricky to like defeat a higher powered Black Order team with this lineup. So, but anyway, it is what it is. I mean, my days of being where I can get 100 cores a day are gone. No, this is not going to happen. I'm lucky to get 75 a day. So, anyway. No change in Dark Dimension 4 because we just don't have the cosmic characters. I meant to mention this last week and I forgot, but because of Mary Sue, I was able to get through the last 3 campaign nodes of Doom relatively easily. I mean, it's just, you get Doom as well, then thinking these last 2 fights, and the combination of Doom and Mary Sue was just, you know, it was a breeze. Up until then, it had been kind of a struggle. But as it is now, the Mary Sue is just so dominant. It's just like but then again, you know, the power creep in the game has gotten just insane. Like you would not believe, but you know, it is what it is, and there's a lot of rubbish going on in the game, and I'll admit I'm getting somewhat frustrated with things. I haven't hit, you know, rage quit point yet, but you know, I'm definitely not nearly as enthusiastic as I used to be. But you know, we'll play it by ear. We'll see what happens and go from there. So anyway, that's gonna do it. If you like the video, give it a like and subscribe and all that other fun stuff, and we'll see you in the next video.